What's up? It's D Hop, aka Dewey. I'm here to do a remake of my original GON's Connection to Dark Continent theory. Or so I say far-fetched theory. So today I'm talking about how GON is either related to or he comes from a dark continent. Yeah. Here's why I think so. So let's start off with this. So if you go back after the Heaven Serena's arc, GON and Killua went to Well Island. So GON can, after going to stuff, he went back to see Amito. And during that time, during that time period where he stayed there, Amito revealed that she was hiding something that Ging gave her from GON, and it was that box thing. And as you remember, that inside the box, they found a tape recorder. Was it a tape recorder? Was it? I think it was the Yeah, they found the tape and the radio. I think it was that, and also, of course, the Green Island memory card. So let's talk about the tape. When they popped the tape back in, a voice came up. And it was Ging, and Ging said, "God, if you want to see me, then this is this tape. Now, God, I don't want to see you. The reason why, because I feel bad for leaving you, because hunters are selfish creatures. So if you do try to find me, I'm going to run away because I'm a hunter, and also I'm running away from my responsibility. And that's why I don't want to see you." But as games goes on, that was the first part of the video. Not the video, the tape. The second part of the tape was, now another thing I want to mention with you, God. And also, mind you, when Ging first started off, he said, if you don't care about me, if you don't want to see me, then turn this tape off right now. And then he repeated again. And however, it wasn't about Ging, it was about Gon's mother. And he said, if you don't want to know anything about your mother, then turn this tape off right now. And Gon turned the tape off. He said, because I know my mother's probably dead, and I consider Amito my real mother. And that was that. That's the last we heard of Gon's mother. So, the thing is, what about Gon's mother? Because we haven't heard anything else. We haven't heard anything else about her. And as far as I've seen, I haven't seen anybody on YouTube discussed it and theorized about Gon's mother. So I guess I'll be one of the few ones. I'm not saying the first because I don't know, but I'm gonna be talking about it. So my theory on Gon's mother is that Gon's mother has some connection to the Dark Continent, or she's from the Dark Continent. And by her being from the Dark Continent, Gon has a connection to the Dark Continent, or he was born in the Dark Continent. So here's why I think so. So we all know that Ging is the type of hunter. He's mysterious, and for years he has been missing because hunters they had the Nen ability. You can use N, which allows you to disguise yourself and basically be invisible. And we know that Ging is a very highly skilled hunter. Not only that, he's one of the top 5 hunters in the world. And he's also probably the most skilled hunter in the entire world. Not the most powerful, but the most skilled. So, with that said, we talk about Ging. A lot of people say that Ging actually went to the Dark Continent once, or even a few times before. Went to the Dark Continent and came back. And Ging himself has probably his own way on getting to the Dark Continent. Now, depending on how far he went into the Dark Continent, we don't know. But a lot of people are theorizing, just most likely true, that Ging has actually went to the Dark Continent itself. Now, here's why I say this. If Ging went to the Dark Continent, you know that he experienced a lot of things, and he met a lot of different creatures, particularly Chimera ants. Because there's another theory out there saying that Ging probably was the one who caused the Chimera ant calamity. And the reason why, because he probably went to the Dark Continent, he ran into the queen or a colony of ants, whatever. I don't know how that happened. he ran to the Ant Queen that we know, and he fought her. He wounded her, and he ran away. And during that fight, for some reason, she must have followed Ging, whatever. I don't know how, because that's how calamities work. And I talk about this on my Dark Secret Agenda of the Dark Continent theory, about how the calamities, they will follow you to the human world, to the outside world, or also should I say the known world. So, however that went about, the Ant Queen followed Ging out to the human world, and that's how. And she was wounded, and she was on the NGL island, and that's how the American Ant arc started. So the point of saying all this was to say that Ging has actually went to the Dark Continent. Now, let's just say that. So let's say that Ging went to the Dark Continent and he met different type of creatures. Now, what if he met other type of humans? So that's the thing. Oh, are humans on the Dark Continent? Well, yes, most likely. Because we see, there are mysterious beings that come from the Dark Continent that live in the known world. And these mysterious beings, they are very humanoid. So you also say there are other different type of humans who are more human than the other humanoid creatures. An example of these more human creatures or living beings would be people like the Kurta clan. And there's a theory out there too about how the Kurta clan came from the Dark Continent. And the reason why they came from the Dark Continent is because of the special ability with their eyes. If they master Nin and they get excited and activate their scarlet eyes, they become specialists, and they can use all 5 main categories. And the reason why this is said that it's most likely evidence for them being from the Dark Continent is because we had never seen any other human do something like this before. Also, and the fact that is in their genetics to have this ability makes it even more possible, because within the Dark Continent, it's the survival of the fittest, and you need certain abilities to survive. And we know how nature works. It's called natural selection, and due to that, Kurta clan were a tribe of humans through evolution over time, gaining scarlet eyes, and that's why Kurapika was so strong. What he did, he activated his scarlet eyes, and that's why, according to what the Fender Troop said, the Kurta clan were a hard group to take out because of their abilities, their special abilities. And if you want to find out more about the Kurta clan and connection to Dark Continent, go look it up. There's a few videos out there, but that's not particularly what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is Gon's mother. And the reason why I said it is just to say that there are humans on the Dark Continent, and special humans, or whatever. And Ging probably met some of these humans, or he only met one, and that one was Gon's mother. Now, there are 4 possibilities how this went about. If Gon came from his mother's womb, who came from the Dark Continent? There's 4 possibilities how this went out. Either A, Ging had went to the Dark Continent, he met Gon's mother, he impregnated her, and he left. He left, and then he came back and met the same person again, and she was holding Gon in her hands, and she gave Gon to Ging, and somewhere along the line she died. That was A. Now for B, for either B, Ging had went to the Dark Continent. He impregnated Gon's mother. He stayed there. Gon was born, and for some reason Gon's mother died, either A, through childbirth or by other means, and he took Gon with him back to the known world. Now for C, Ging went to the Dark Continent. She met Gon's mother. He either A, impregnated Gon's mother while it was on the Dark Continent, or he did it after when he got out of it, meaning that he met Gon's mother. He took her from the Dark Continent into the known world without anybody knowing, of course, and he impregnated Gon. Yeah, no. he impregnated Gon's mother while they was outside of Dark Castle, and then she died. So that was C. Now D. Ging met Gon's mother, and he impregnated her while he was on the Dark Continent. He left. Gon's mother died, but she had gone. And gone either A, because see, remember I said either, just going back a few minutes, I said that either when Ging met other humans, he either met one person who was God's mother, or he met multiple humans. Now, the Cursor clan, they were a clan, they were a tribe. So we can assume, keyword, that there are other tribes of humans on the Dark Continent. So what if God's mother was part of the tribe? Let's just say that. So God's mother was part of the tribe. Ging met this tribe. He didn't meet this tribe at all. He just met God's mother. He impregnated God's mother. He left. God's mother had gone, but she died somehow, either by childbirth or along, by other means. A little bit later on after God's birth, and God's mother's brethren, whatever, or whoever she was with, her tribe, took care of God. Ging came back, and then he met God's tribe members, or God's tribe members, God's mother's tribe members, whatever, gave God to Ging, or they either directly or they set it up where they put God somewhere, and then Ging crossed paths with this baby child, and he was like, I think it's my child, I don't, whatever. That's part 4. So there's multiple ways how this could have went about, and that was just 4 ideas, 4 examples. Now let's go further on. So when Ging came back with Gon, he didn't initially go to Will Island and gave Gon to Mito, his cousin, and Mito's grandmother. What he did was, that was Mito's mom, right? Yeah, Mito's mother. Yeah, Mito's grandmother. Okay. So before Ging and Gon went to Will Island, Ging actually took care of Gon for a little while. And because we see this because we know that Gon was there during Green Island. And the reason why we know Gon was there was because it was the card that Gon had. I can't remember. But we know that it showed a scene where Gon was already with Ging on Green Island. And it was someone else, I forget what happened. Someone drew the card where it said that you had been here before, and Gon was like, huh? And then they figured it out. It was like, it must have been when he was a child. But besides that, either way, Gon was there as an infant baby with Ging when Ging, I think it was when he first completed, he finally 100% completed Greed Island. So he was there, and then after that, that's when sometime after that, that's when he gave Gon. Ging went back to Will Island and he gave Gon to Mito. So that's Gon's infant story when he was a baby. And then Ging left. Now let's go back to the tape. When Ging was about to mention Gon's mother, Gon heard it, but this is what Ging said. And then when he said it, he sounded, depending on which version you watch, but the way I interpret it, he sounded very reluctant to talk about it. But he was like, God, also, if you remember your mother, just keep going. However you don't want to know, go ahead, turn her off. And Gon turn her off. But then what happened after that? It was like, Gon Killer was like, oh, we found some clues from your dad, blah, blah. And all of a sudden the tape started rewinding back. And they was like, what is going on? And they was like, oh my god, it's erasing itself. And they slam the tape. They freaking pulled the plug out, and nothing worked because it was being motive. It was running off an Nen. And when that happened, the tape erased itself and started recording. Now, why would Ging do that? Well, according to what Killer said, even though some of it wasn't scientifically accurate, but he was talking about how it was dangerous for this tape to exist with Ging's voice on it because you can find out about information from this tape if you're a skilled human being or a skilled internet user. Now, with this said, that's why Ging had to erase this tape to protect himself because he's a skilled hunter. He's on that level. But however, why else would really? That's not 100% confirmed. That's what Killua said. Did Ging say that? No, Ging didn't say that. And Ging never mentioned the tape. So, with that said, since it's not 100% confirmed, that's why Ging did it, or that's the only reason why Ging did it. I'm gonna make a theory about another reason why Ging had that tape erased. Maybe the information that Ging had on Gon's mother was something that he did not want to exist. He only wanted Gon to hear this. And once Gon heard it, he needed to erase this information. And why he needed to erase this information? Well, this whole video was about Gon's mother being connected to the Dark Continent. And if Ging had on his tape mentioned how he went to the Dark Continent, or anything about the Dark Continent and Gon's mother and Gon's connection to it, he had to erase it. Because the Dark Continent is something that's forbidden to talk about. Something that the known world doesn't hardly even know about. Something actually illegal to go to. Unless you have certain credentials to go to the Dark Continent. Now, that said, that's why Ging probably would have erased the tape, because if it has something to do with Gon's mother, and he mentioned something about the Dark Continent, that's not something people should talk about. That's why he did make sure he had to erase that crap. Other than the reason why, other the reasons on what Killua said. That's true also, but another possibility is there's some on there that he didn't want to be leaked out. He only intended Gon to hear this. So that was that. Now we talk about Ging and Gon's mother. Let's specifically talk in a tape. Let's specifically talk about Gon and why he himself would be from the Dark Continent, other than what I just said. Now, we know that Gon is a very talented individual, but also Killua. This was said by Wing, their master their trainer during their training at the Heaven of Venus arc when they was learning how to use and master Nen. And he was talking about how Gon and Killua were like 1 out of a million. So you know that both of them are special. But however, what makes Gon particularly more special than Killua is his latent, innate, large amount of Nen. And this is shown throughout the series, especially this is shown when they did the ritual, whatever, the ritual, the thing with the water, the cup. They channel their Nen to the cup and see what type of Nen type you are or how far you come with your training. Gon did his. In the 2011 version of the anime, I'm not sure about the manga, but I know for sure in the 2011 version of the anime, Gon's Nen made the water overflow and the glass started to crack. And Wing, he started panicking. Like, he was like, oh, God, whoa, God, what you doing? Stop. You're going to break the glass. And then Gon was like, oh, my bad. He stopped it. And he was like, and basically to show how much power this little kid has. It's very abnormal. And even Wing said that he was like, Master, I'm so sorry, but I think I woke in a monster. And he was excited and a little bit, concerned at the same time when he said this. So, talk about Gon. We see throughout the series, how he has a lot of nin, and how as he, especially when he fights, he has a potential to channel large amounts of nin than he usually would during battles when battles get heated for long. And throughout the series, it is shown over and over again to eventually, when he got to Chimera Ant Art, Gon faced against Pito, due to Gon's unstable emotional and psychological state and his more negative emotions, Gon's nin unconsciously transformed Gon into a monster. And this monster was Gon's adult form. And this is because Gon received his powers technically from the future. If you think about it, it really was from the future. But Gon's nin, we already know this, but Gon's nin matured it. Well, I don't know, if you don't, okay, this is general knowledge, but if you don't know this, what happened was Gon's nin matured Gon all up to the point of his to the point of growth where he would have reached his maximum potential if he was to train for a few more decades. But it was Gon's potential at this damn point of time. So, and the thing that's special about this, is that, according to what Pito said, in this state, Gon, his power pad was equal to the born Ant King, not the post time Rose Bomb Ant King, where he absorbed Poof's and Yuppie's powers. It was before this. Gon's power, according to what Pito said, and she would know because she was around the king. Gon's power was equal to Miriam, the King of Ants, equal to it. Why would Gon's power be exactly equal to the Ant King? So, I'm gonna go into what I call connections. Okay, never mind. Screw that. I'm gonna go to how certain things that happen in the series, and I'm gonna talk about how maybe there's a connection to it, and there's a thread that ties these things. So, I'm gonna talk about 3 things: the Kurapika clan, aka and also Kurapika, Gon, and the Chimera Ants, particularly Miriam too. Now, we know that with Nin, human can make Nin stronger if you place restrictions and if you place restrictions on your Nin, you can make your Nin stronger. And we see this so far with 2 people, and theoretically with 3, but that's another topic for another time. But with 2 people, and those 2 people were Kurapika and Gon. Now Kurapika, he did his by placing restrictions on his Nin with death. Like, he placed it in his heart, and if he would break through the rules, it would kill him. However, in exchange, because he restricts his Nin to the point where only used most of his chains on the fantasy tree, and not anyone else, then that made him so much more powerful. And also, he added a death factor to it, and that's how Kurapika was so powerful. And also with his genetic luck, being part of the Kurapika clan, that's why he was also powerful. But let's look at Gon. The thing about Gon is that when he did his unconsciously, and he wanted as much power as he possibly can in order to defeat this bitch Pito. That's what he was thinking unconsciously, and I guess you could say consciously. But he wanted enough power as he possibly could. He didn't care if this was the end. He didn't care whether he was going to live or die. He just wanted the power. Just give me it. I don't care what the consequences are. And his Nin did it for him. And in exchange for that, he got this power, but only for a short amount of time. and he turned to a burnt mummy. But you know how they went out. He got saved, blah blah blah. But besides that, you see that the only two people that has used their restrictions are two people most likely connected to the Dark Continent. When I say most likely, I'm saying considering the fact that my theory is correct, which is what I'm talking about right now, this video right now, my God's mother theory. If that's correct, considering that theory and the Culture Clan being connected to the Dark Continent, so, considering those things, so far these two people that have done the name restrictions are, let's just say that these two people are connected to the Dark Continent, but they're also the only people who have done name restrictions. Now, possibly is maybe far-fetched speculation, but maybe Togashi is trying to show us something slightly how these things are connected, and the thing that connects these two people is the Dark Continent and the name restrictions. Now, there's another person who does something for powers, or should I say he or her, which way you go about it. This person powers. I'm talking about Aluka. It's also said that Aluka on board so with Nanika, something that's inside Aluka is one of those AIs or eyes. You know, those etheric gas-like life forms that was mentioned in the manga that came from the Dark Continent. And was one of the was it four? Yeah, one of the four calamities. Five calamities. I think so. But it was one of the calamities, and it's from the Dark Continent. So you know that Nanika, or aka something in English, her powers is like her powers has a lot much to do with restriction and exchange for restrictions you get something. I'm not going into the powers. I'm just trying to make a point right here because her power is a little bit complicated. But so if we theoretically include the fact that Nanika is the eye that one of the calamities that came from the Dark Continent, we have three people that has used their restrictions and are connected to the Dark Continent. And there's three people who's done this. And not only that there's three people, they're the only people in the series who has done this so far. Now, that's, even though it's a far-fetched speculation, that's possibly a possibility that Togashi is providing us with a slight hint that it's some connection between their restrictions and the Dark Continent, people from the Dark Continent, and God's one of these people. So, if this all is said, so what if GON is from the Dark Continent? So, if GON turns out he actually is from the Dark Continent, what type of creature is he? We know that he's human, but what type of human? What is his true abilities? What's his true potential? Because we see, I saw a theory on YouTube that GON possibly has become a specialist. Because if you go back to when Wayne was training Killua GON, Wayne was talking about explaining Nin, and he said that people possibly can gain other categories through either through hard work, training, or certain conditions. He's also said, or certain conditions can happen. That's foreshadowing. Togashi, he's a good writer, a very excellent writer, and he likes to, in certain things, he likes foreshadowing and stuff. And when he specifically said when he was playing in main categories, he said that a person can gain a proficiency, whatever, in other categories, related to training or certain conditions. He said that. I remember he has said that. What are these other certain conditions? And someone made a theory about this, and they said that because what GON did, and what GON doing what he did, and the combination with 90 plus powers, GON actually became a specialist. However, he has not yet realized this. And the reason why he has not yet realized this was because he has to his Nen has like more so how should I say this? His Nen has more so restricted itself because what GON did. It's scary. That's not what I'm saying. Not 100% fact, but it's most likely that GON's Nen has restricted GON from using his Nen because of what GON did to it. Like, let's say this, if you injure your body, whatever, depending on what you injure, your body would do something, whereas it will restrict you from doing something, or doing that same particular movement, because what you did caused so much damage to it. Your body will try to protect itself, and in Hunter x Hunter again, it's probably the same way, and that's why GON can't access Nen. So whatever is particularly blocking GON from getting his Nen back, whether it's to retrain himself or it's something to block physically, mentally, and emotionally, GON has to overcome whatever means he has to get his Nen back. GON has to do it, and if he does do it, his Nen might come out as something different, and whatever comes out, whether it's going to be a specialist or whatever, I think whatever comes out of GON, it's going to be something very different, and it's going to not only reveal some of GON's abilities, but also reveal some of GON himself, and this may lead to a little tiny bit more evidence, or I don't say evidence. This may lead to down the road where we get to finally see GON's true origins, and that's what this video is about: GON's true origins. And one of my far-fetched theory of the day is that GON is related to or has come from the Dark Continent. So that was my theory for the day. And if you haven't seen any of my other videos, go check them out. Half of them is on my phone, so it's kind of bad. But I say a few interesting things. I have made more videos, and one of the main two series I'll talk about is One Punch Man and Hunter x Hunter. However, recently I'm gonna start not like rushing to it, but gradually I'm gonna start talking about other animes, because I recently just watched Serial Experience Lanes. Yeah. And since I had watched this, I'm gonna do a discussion video on that one, and that's going to be pretty long because this type of anime is very it's an in-mind rape scene. But that's the next video I'm going to. And this right here, like I said at the beginning, this is a remake of my original GON's Connection Dark Content theory, and I'm remaking it to expand more on my idea, and also to make the quality a little tiny bit better. It is on my laptop, not on my phone. So this was D-Hop, aka The Weed, and if you haven't checked out my channel, go check it out. So peace, so out, and at the very least, have an okay day.